Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Sarah Melaibari from UBT, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and I'm glad today to present a paper titled Embedding Sustainability Constraints into Undergraduate Inventory Control Instruction. Education for Sustainable Development is the top priority under the Sustainable Development Goals set by the United Nations. The UNESCO emphasizes the importance of embedding sustainability within all disciplines instead of treating it as an isolated theme. In business education, there is a shift toward embedding sustainability within the core analytical and decision-making frameworks, as sustainability used to be introduced as a context rather than integrated within quantitative models. No doubt that quantitative analysis is a part of business education, and it relies on mathematics, which influences economic and operational decisions by supporting resource allocation, cost reduction, trade-off analysis through quantitative models. But the modeling competency frameworks highlight more skills than just calculation, such as interpreting results, checking assumptions, and relating mathematics to the real-world problem. In quantitative business analysis courses, the models such as the economic order quantity is taught purely under financial assumptions. Environmental impacts are typically introduced within the context of the model, but not the structure of it. As an implication, students can perform calculations correctly, but they are not practicing how to analyze and interpret sustainability trade-offs. So the core issue is that the analytical structure of these models don't reflect sustainability, which constrain deeper involvement in decision-making process. Operations research show that incorporating sustainability into optimization models can significantly influence the decision-making outcomes. But the translation of these models into the classroom instruction is limited. Focusing on the Saudi Arabian context, there is the Vision 2030, which positions sustainability as a key driver of higher education reform. But most of the Saudi's research focused only on sustainability, policy alignment, institutional strategies, and awareness. There is minimal evidence on how structural integration affects student learning, and there is a lack of empirical studies investigating the instructional effects of sustainability integration directly into quantitative models. So this study aims to redesign the EOQ model structurally by embedding sustainability in the model's parameters to evaluate students' computational accuracy and their abilities of trade-off reasoning. As stated on the slide, the classical EOQ model contains purely financial costs, which are the ordering cost and holding cost, while the sustainability integrated model includes environmental impacts in a form of environmental cost, which may include carbon emission cost or waste disposal cost. So this study employed a within subject quasi-experimental design. 46 sophomore business students who completed the QBA course participated in the study. The research instrument consisted of a test which contained two sections. The first section contained 3 classical EOQ problems, while the other section contained 3 sustainability integrated EOQ problems. Both sections were parallel, and the same sample of students solved the both sections to control the ability differences. The research instrument basically measured 2 variables: students' computational accuracy and their abilities of trade-off reasoning. Regarding the reliability of the research instrument, the Cronbach's alpha values of both sections indicated acceptable level, while the inter-rater reliability was measured using Cohen's kappa, which also indicated a moderate agreement. The content validity ratio was excellent, and it was computed based on the feedback of 6 experts in mathematics education, supply chain management, and sustainability studies. The data have been collected and analyzed using paired sample t-test. The significance level alpha has been adjusted based on the Benforoni correction because, as mentioned before, 2 variables have been measured using this instrument. Regarding the first variable, which is computational accuracy, The generated p-value showed that there is no significant difference, which means that the procedural performance of the students remains stable and that there is no change in the computational accuracy scale. While the trade-off reasoning, the p-value, showed a significant improvement, which means that the conceptual understanding of the students improved. This significant increase in trade-off reasoning uh, showed that sustainability parameters made the cost trade-off explicit, and the student must interpret financial and environmental impact, shift the focus from calculation into decision analysis. This means that the model structure shapes how students think and that embedding sustainability transforms the model into a decision-making tool, not rather than being just a procedure of calculation. From a theoretical point of view, these results can be understood through the modeling competency theory set by Ness and Hogarth, that the modeling competency move beyond calculations and help the students to interpret the results, to validate the assumptions, and to relate mathematics to the real-world context. So the finding is consistent with the operation research, which demonstrate that the model extension can modify the decision outcomes without necessarily changing the underlying solution procedure. Embedding environmental cost components within the EOQ model required students to engage in this process, thereby enhancing their ability to reason about optimization trade-off. And finally, that sustainability integration in the business education should not be displaced the course analytical content, but can be integrated within the existing framework. So in conclusion, sustainability should be embedded within quantitative models as it enhances decision-making skills and analytical reasoning. This study results contribute as it bridges the operational research modeling and business education, and it provides empirical evidence of instructional impact and a validation of structural integration approach. Regarding the Saudi context, which was limited only to policy alignment and institutional strategies, this study move beyond and demonstrate practical implementation at course level. And of course, there were some limitations that this study has been conducted at a single institution during a short-term assessment with a modest sample size, would make it hard to generalize the findings. So it is suggested for future research to investigate long-term learning outcomes and to use broader students population and to enlarge the sample size. And it is also suggested for future research to focus on embedding sustainability parameters in other topics in operations such as linear programming, regression, and break-even analysis. Came to the end of this paper. Those are the references used. Thank you for listening, and I'm ready to receive your questions.